critical legal studies was very attentive to the way that law helped constitute class inequality. Um, that didn't mean that class was a naturalized, concept. There weren't people who walk around with an internal identity as an essential working class person, but it is a recognition that law helps produce the relationships, the power between different groups of interest, and one can have a project that's attended to those issues. So our first response is race is not unlike anything else that we've been talking about. Race isn't necessarily something that is an essential characteristic that's embedded in people that transcends all space and time, but it is a set of relationships with respect to things like property, which is Cheryl Harris's article, criminal procedure, which is work that Devin Carbato does, housing, which is work that John Powell has done. So we were able to say that even though race is not a natural category, the meaning of race in our society is largely constituted through the consequences of legal rules. And there is a project that needs to be done to unpack that in order to be able to change it. So that's been and that's a constant. It's still the case that even in a period of formal equality, there are still ongoing ways in which the law naturalizes particular kinds of outcomes. If we look today at criminal procedure, it is the case that constitutional criminal procedure law actually facilitates the kind of surveillance, the race-based surveillance of individuals and communities that set the stage for so many of the unfortunate events that actually came about. So when we talk about Black Lives Matter, it's important to talk not just about the question of whether police officers are institutionally biased or personally biased, but the broader framework of rules that allow police departments to sustain their surveillance of people of color without any appreciable oversight and control. So that's a way that critical race theory continues to ask questions that are relevant in the here and now.